shit. Weren't we meant to do the podcast today?
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about why we love Super Smash Brothers?
Yeah, that works.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the House of Mario, episode 35. I'm your host, Drew Agnew, and with me, as always, is my good co-host, Bryce DeWitt.
Me, I'm adequate.
Adequate, yeah.
Yay!
Today on the show, we're going to be talking about why we love Super Smash Brothers and what it means to us as a series before getting into some discussion on the latest game that will be coming out this year, just our hopes and expectations. But first, I want to thank everyone that listened to our last episode with Defer. The two of us had a great time talking to him, and it was actually one of our most successful weeks for the podcast. So whether you've been listening to us since we started the show, or you just joined us last week or a couple of weeks ago, whenever it may be, thank you very much for listening.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
No, seriously, thank you. It really does mean a big deal to us. We did push as hard as we could to get that circulating. Probably have to get a bit of a thanks to the ARMS community there as well. I dare say a couple of them would have jumped on that, and yeah, it was good to talk about the game and learn some new things.
Yeah, it was really interesting to sort of hear from someone who's so engrossed in that community, because we played a lot of ARMS when it came out, and we sort of fell off of it just due to other games coming out on Switch. But it's awesome that people have stuck to that game, because I really didn't want to see that game disappear, which I guess in a lot of people's eyes it has. But
well, yeah, but only because of, I don't know if we could talk about it for days, I guess, but you know, with Splatoon and how all that was, and how it was just after. Yeah,
just two competitive games.
Yeah.
Going for the same space. Yeah.
Yeah. Same competitive space of esports title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But jumping into Super Smash Bros. Bros. This is a series that I think it's a super important aspect of our friendship, almost.
Oh, yeah. I would say many hours went into that game with our friendship.
Yeah. I don't know how many hours of Super Smash Bros. Brawl we played, especially. That was the one where we, like, both of us personally connected with that one.
It ended up being about 700 hours, maybe.
I remember the last time...
Between two Wiis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, between two Wiis would be crazy, but I know on my personal one, I think that was 400 and something hours last time I checked. I don't know if that was at the end of the time or... I don't know. It could have doubled as far as I know.
I think when we last talked about it, which was quite a while ago, we rounded it out to be about anywhere between 300 and 350 hours together on one console each, because we ended out around about the same hours.
Yeah, but I guess sort of thinking back to it now with games like Destiny and your Final Fantasy and that's kind of nothing now.
Well, I mean, it is a lot for couch co-op.
Yeah.
It is a lot for couch co-op.
It's a lot for... Let's turn off the items and play Final Destination.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you look at it in the scope of what I've spent time-wise on, again, stuff like Final Fantasy 14 and all that, you know, it's a game with a lot to do.
Yeah.
In Smash, it's basically like we played competitive rules 100% of the time.
To the point where we Our school in year 12, they actually bought a bunch of secondhand Wiis, and they're like, all right, guys, what games should we get for it? And I'm just like, hands straight up, I'm like, get Super Smash Brothers, please.
Smash Brothers.
Like, they come back with Wii Sports, Wii Fit, like, you know, these like, oh yeah, we've got some party games for you guys. I'm like, no, you have to get Smash Bros.
Oh yeah.
You got no idea.
Yeah, you want to make these Wiis worth the purchase, you better buy Smash Bros. Absolutely.
Let's actually go chronologically in the Smash Bros. Series. Mm-hmm. So let's start Smash 64. So I never owned a 64 when I was a kid. But basically it was just going to a friend's place and playing it there. And back when I played the 64's controller was already a weird-ass feeling controller.
Yeah, well, when was it? Never.
Oh, I guess. But like... basically, it was always like, let's play the PlayStation 2 or the Nintendo 64. So, you know, we were playing... I remember there was a Digimon Rumble Arena 2, which actually recently I went back and played probably 15 years after I originally played it at. Remember Adam had it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I went back to it. I'm like, this is actually it's a bit clunky just with the dodging and that, but it's still actually lots of fun.
Yeah, yeah.
So going from you're playing that on the PlayStation, when you go to the Nintendo 64 with the the joypad, not the joypad, the control stick. I'm not a gamer. I don't know the buttons. Apparently.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But just playing with that, so it feels a bit odd. That was my experience with it. And I sucked as well.
Well,
back then.
I think we all did a little bit, right?
I guess.
You know, in the scope of how competitive Smash Bros is in general nowadays. Even the 64 version sees a little bit.
What was your experience with this? Because I never really played the 64 version with you when.
Oh, I loved the 64 version. I loved it. I spent so many hours just versing level 9 CPU Donkey Kongs and
just really honing your craft.
No, just with a broken controller, sure.
Yeah.
I still have a copy of the 64 version floating around, but not really a 64 to play it on. I have a 64 there, but it's got no cables and all my controllers are they've disappeared, to put it in the widest sense.
With the 64, I recently got an adapter for the PC so I can plug in 64 controllers. And I'm like, oh, I've got two Nintendo 64 controllers, and plug it in. And it's like, oh, this isn't working. Plug in the other one. Oh, this is even worse. God damn it.
Yeah. You know, the problem with the 64 controllers at that point as well is once you had played an intense game like Smash where, you know, it's hard on the control stick at times, it's they break pretty quickly. It broke quick enough playing Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, let alone
Mario Party or Smash or Mario Kart 64.
Yeah.
Just like they you know how like a lot of them they just flap about?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Yeah, these ones like jumped back to the center still. So I was like, oh, good, that they work. Excellent. And I actually use them. Oh, maybe not. It at about the 1 o'clock angle on the thing, it just goes like in Super Mario 64, he just walks super slow.
Oh, yeah.
But every other angle's right. Oh, so if I want to, I just got to not go to, you know, north of the map, I'll be right. if I just do the camera towards me all the time, I'll be fine. So
right.
is that our experience with like I feel like I did play a lot of it, but I don't have like super vivid memories of it.
I have vivid memories of it. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought 64 was, you know, there's a reason the series continued after that game. It was fantastic. Yeah. And it is timeless as anything, and if you went back to it nowadays, you could still play it like you would any other Smash game necessarily. There's some smaller stuff, obviously, that's not left out, but essentially, the craft hasn't really changed that much. It's just advanced.
Yeah, they've refined it, added to it.
If you want to go back to simplicity, Smash Bros. 64 is still there, and it's still a valid piece of software.
From that game, I really want to see Saffron City, the map, come back.
Yeah, and I think everybody does with the surprise door.
Yeah, it looked really funny, like in HD, like awesome graphics now, unless they like revamp it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Or just leave it how it is, because Hyrule Castle was in for DLC for Smash Wii U, wasn't it? And that looks pretty cool. Going back to it, seeing the contrast between the characters.
That map was so infamous.
Yeah,
everybody loved it.
Yeah, because it was closest to the flattest surface you could get, really, without too much going on.
Yeah, just about. Yeah, except for that bloody whirlwind.
Yeah, but that's fine.
Yeah. Oh.
It's like Saffron City, you have like Charizard come out and Porygon and
too many environmental hazards is the best way to put that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and so Smash Bros. Melee.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're whenever we bring this up, it's always like, oh,
fucking Melee.
Everyone loves Melee and hates everything else.
I do not. I've probably mentioned it many times before that like. Honestly, Melee is a bit of a toxic subject for Smash. Right? But I do think it's a phenomenal game. The difference between like talking about Melee or anything and the brand new is that so many people are hooked on what Melee had in it when people discovered wave dashing and stuff like that. And people demanded that stuff back because they thought it was just like this big test of skill by using it, but really it wasn't.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? There are plenty of ways to test your skill in Smash, and wave dashing doesn't have to be one of them. But wave dashing has been a mechanic that's been talked about since its discovery in Melee.
Yeah, just going on that, I feel like all that's like this is coming from someone who's got no idea how to even do that shit. Because I didn't put that much time into the game.
It is basically a short hop in the air.
Yeah, like I
with an aerial dodge and pushing downwards at the same time, and it just makes you go rup, 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 rup.
Yeah, no, I do get that, but actually me, like, all right, sitting down the controller, actually trying to flick my fingers and do it. It's probably not going to happen.
No, no.
But I think that's fine for what that game is in the competitive scene. But I don't feel like that needs to be what Smash is, because I don't like. I think that's great in that game, but I don't want Smash, for example, Switch coming out to be all about flicking your character down all the time just to maneuver around. I don't think that's what Smash has to be about. No,
it doesn't. That's what I mean. There are ways to test your skill outside of stuff like wave dashing. You don't need. That's not something that needs to be a part of the game. But that is the reason Smash Melee is still so competitive.
Yeah,
is because like the amount of movement mechanics and twitch mechanics you have to make are a lot, but realistically, in the end, it shouldn't really be better about which person can wave dash better. It should be who can pull the stops, make a matchup work, all that stuff.
Who can throw the bob bomb the best? Who can use? No,
them party scrubs. Sorry.
So, like the competitive scene aside, and the snobbiness and sort of that aside.
Put all that aside. Melee is one of the strongest games. And it's one of the strongest games because there was plenty of content in it, and you had stuff to test your metal. You had stuff like Crazy Hand, Master Hand, which was a recurring thing.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Giga Bowser fight and stuff like that. The missions, the 50 odd missions. There was a lot going on for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they since the original on the 64, they just filled it right up with content.
They do, yeah. Which is great because like the 64 version is dry. Do you know what I mean? There is only so much you can do in the 64 version before you're like, hey, I'm done. Do you know what I mean?
Unless you're crazy like us and you don't get sick of it.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. But like if you were looking for something to do in your spare time, Melee had plenty to offer. Its roster was pretty phenomenal. Had a lot of good choices in characters there. So there are a lot of dupes. There are a lot of dupe characters, but at the same time, that wasn't too much of a bad thing either because I don't think dupe characters are a bad thing.
No, even like Pichu, it's useless, but it was fun to have him in there.
Oh yeah,
especially when Gold and Silver just come out. Like you're like, oh cool, Pichu's there. Like Pikachu's a pre-evolution. You kind of forget about how big that was.
Yeah.
Now, don't you? Yeah.
No, well, exactly. Yeah.
But
You'd never play it. You'd never play him, but you were like, oh, okay, yeah. I don't know what the deal with Pichu hurting itself was and how that was supposed to be a good mechanic at all, but
yeah, good point. It should have just been a weaker, faster Pikachu, but I don't know why hurting it counters it being faster. I don't know. I guess the way they looked at it is they were kind of just like, hey, we'll make a swifter Pikachu that does the same damage, but as a counteraction, it hurts itself when using specific moves. But that is a serious counterplay to most people. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It restricts the use of certain moves and stuff like that when you thinking about it from a perspective of like we are not super competitive. Like maybe with each other, but like we aren't the type of people that go out of our way to attend tournaments and stuff. If we go to AvCon or something, we'll sign up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for pure fun, not for.
Well, yeah, exactly. If we climb the rungs and we get up far, then awesome. But the thing is, we're more about testing each other's skill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Which is to our detriment to some point because we've played each other. Like you know how I play like in and out, and I know how you play in and out. So if we play someone else who has like a bit of a different tactic, like oh god,
yeah, that's the thing too, though. Having a variety of players, being in a small place, doesn't really happen too much.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like if more than anything, we're trying to improve on our actual mechanics than what we are in learning how to counter others. not always a bad thing.
No.
Except for my crappy my crappy loss at Avcon with you, where you almost pulled it off solo. But yeah, I'll talk about that in a bit because it's more related to Brawl. But yeah,
we're moving that. I was gonna say, and also Melee's it really put Fire Emblem on the map in the West as well.
Oh yeah, it did.
That's like Smash. It's super exciting getting these characters in, but it's also excellent marketing for Nintendo.
Yeah, absolutely. Because more and more people wanted to know about Marth and Roy. Yeah. You know what I mean? They wanted to know where they came from and stuff like that. Obviously, there were people that knew, but further on down the line in Smash, that became more of an important push.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Melee was obviously the first push, and it was great. So I got to thank Melee for that because we got some of the best tactical RPGs we've had in years and years since then.
And stuff like Earthbound, like a lot of people didn't know NES. Like a lot of people hadn't played Earthbound on their SNES.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which reminds me, I need to go back to that again. Jeez, all these things I got to play on my mini SNES. Damn.
How many are there? Is it 22? 21, including Star Fox 2.
Yeah. And there's so much stuff I've got to play on that console. And most of them are RPGs with a bit of a time sink, so...
Yeah, you're playing, was it Final Fantasy 3 or 6?
3 in the West, 6 in Japan.
Yeah.
God, I hate talking about old Final Fantasy.
I was just covering both my bases.
Oh,
so I'm not a Final Fantasy guy.
You pretty much have to. Yeah. Anyway, not about Final Fantasy for now. Let's move on.
Yes.
So, do you want to talk about Brawl?
Oh, do I want to talk about Brawl, Bryce? Like, a lot of people like have a problem with Brawl just because of some questionable choices made for the mechanics in Brawl.
A lot of people think it's the worst game in the series. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
You see that criticism all the time about it, but yeah. Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
I will. Like the random tripping, it was always like a fun thing. Like you trip over and it's like, God damn you, Sakurai, type of thing. But it never really super hampered my
the
ability to enjoy the game. It's always more of like you slip over and you quickly flick the stick and you roll out the way. Like it wasn't like I can't really recall any times I slipped over in the game and you just go, oh, this is what I'm going to get him, and you set up a thing and you get me. Like it, I don't feel like it was that bad. In saying that, very unnecessary. Didn't have to be there.
No, yeah.
And
not good for a competitive scene either.
No, but I guess that was the thing Sakurai was trying to sort of get back from Melee. Just like, all right, this is a party game, guys.
Yeah,
not a fighting game.
Like, don't be super serious.
So he chucked in the random tripping and a couple of those things.
Look, I'm glad it's recovered from that and it's becoming trying to become one of their premier, competitive games again. I think Smash 4 did a pretty decent job of it, honestly. I know there's a lot of people that aren't happy with it, but
I don't think they ever will be if they're not happy with that.
Well, Well, what's the point in being upset about it anyway? With them coming back with Smash 4 removal of random tripping, a lot more there to discover. Mechanic wise, the split ups of multi-form characters, so that
are we skipping Brawl?
Huh?
Are we skipping Brawl?
No,
go on then. Sorry.
I'm just mentioning it, but as it's gone down the line, because we did get stuff like multi-form characters in Brawl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they were fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It opened up a lot. It was really good thematically. You had stuff like Metroid and Zero Suit. And Zelda and Sheik was still there, sort of thing. It was good.
Yeah, and introduction of the Pokemon trainer.
And the Pokemon trainer too. It was just... it added a whole new layer at the same time. Obviously, like I just mentioned, further on, they split them up and made it more of a competitive sort of niche on there.
Yeah.
But with Brawl, we saw the opportunity that there could be a variety in terms of character play. Like if you wanted to play this character effectively, you had to be good with both its forms. You know, that was the competitive push for a couple people, I think, because they were like, hey, you know, when's the best time for me to use Sheik, or when's the best time for me to use Zelda?
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Well, especially with Pokemon Trainer, where it's like, oh, my Pokemon's tired, I've got to bring it back. Like, encourages you to actually play like the games where, you know, you've got to like type match and like look at the health and go, all right, I've got to bring him back because he's going to knock me out. And it's very, like, it was really interesting, especially if you're playing as Squirtle and like, all right, I'm getting low on health, so I'm going to go to Charizard because he's heavier. Like, it did bring an interesting element to the game.
It did, yeah, absolutely. And I kind of wish they did write it out. At the same time, you know, it's good that they didn't 100%. I think Smash 4's a really good game anyway. But in Brawl, with the option to have that in the competitive scene, I thought that was pretty nice. Random tripping played a part in some like absolutely foul deaths and stuff like that in the competitive scene that should have never happened. And
some foul deaths, yeah.
But in saying that, like, I don't, if you weren't being super competitive, Smash Bros. Brawl was one of the better ones in my opinion. You know what I mean? You know, shaking yourself up with multi-form characters and the balances of certain characters were all good. You had the variations, like, you know, between Link, Toon Link, Ness, Lucas, all that stuff like that. They're all super solid.
Yeah,
I thought so anyway. It wasn't like the Pikachu Pichu situation. I thought the character, apart from, yes, Meta Knight and his bullcrap.
Oh, Meta Knight. I forgot all about Meta Knight bullshit.
Meta Knight bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
But apart from that, there wasn't really anything that was way too strong that you couldn't deal with it as long as you knew how to play against it.
Yeah.
It's just Meta Knight was just...
Well,
how did you play against Meta Knight?
I guess just thinking back to it, like, imagine telling someone, a developer now, to make a fighting game with 36 different characters, and you will get no patches.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That is like Smash 4. Like, how many patches does that go through? That went through heaps of patches.
Oh yeah.
Like little tiny ones, which they wouldn't tell us what the hell was going on. But
balancing hell is the phrase you want to bring into question there.
Yeah,
because you can't balance all those characters before that game comes out. No way in hell. And the only time they ever released a patch for anything on Wii U was when Skyward Sword was broken. That was the only time.
Was it even a patch? You had to send off your SD card almost, didn't you?
No, you could download a patch off the eShop.
Oh, there's a channel for it, wasn't there?
There was a channel for it.
God, yeah.
And that patched the game. The only reason they had to do that is because the game was literally unplayable past a certain point if you did the wrong thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could not leave a certain area, and it just stuffed it up.
Which happens, but you know.
But that was awful. That was absolute worst of the worst. But for them to do something like that, you know, they had to put a whole channel on the shop. You had to go through all that setup data, and all, it's silly, you know.
Yeah.
But for minor patches and stuff like that, the way the Wii was set up, it wasn't really made for update data. You know, had a flash memory of like 256.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that optimal.
Yeah, you couldn't, like, the Brawl save file was too big, you couldn't even move it around on an SD card.
Yeah, that's it. So in the end...
Yeah. So, what did you think about the story mode?
Story mode? Subspace?
Yeah.
I love Subspace.
Yeah, so do I.
It is really long and sometimes a little bit arduous. Auto-scrolling levels are a pain in the butt.
They are in every game.
They are in every game.
Yeah.
You know, but giving Smash Bros. A universe and giving it a cause for these characters to fight was really good.
Yeah. Even if it's silly, it's still cool just seeing them together.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Bowser and Ganon on the airship, just like, you know, plotting and...
God, the fighting scene between Fox and Sheik.
So
and Peach pouring tea. Like, oh, God.
Pikachu and Samus teaming up.
Pikachu and Samus teaming up, Link and Yoshi being together, and it was so good.
Yeah, just like Link getting the Master Sword in the forest, and he's like looks around, there's Yoshi just sleeping there. So I could live here. I could do this.
I could live here. I could live here forever. And then, you know, that the subspace also had some very big moments as well from respective games, like stuff like Porky.
Yes, yeah.
Like the Porky fight they had and stuff like that. You know, the little bosses they had all throughout the subspace. And, you know, most of them held relevance to something. It was good.
Yeah, you versed Ridley,
Mm-hmm.
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was damn awesome. In the end, you know, subspace was actually pretty long, but it was also very good.
Yeah, for sure.
Quite enjoyed it.
I always thought why it was like they didn't use like enemies from the games as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, I don't know why they didn't use Goombas or, you know, things from Kid Icarus, and, you know, just the list goes on. Like, it didn't feel like Super Nintendo-y, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing. Like, it doesn't matter, but it would be cool, like, to make it feel super, like an actual, like, a big mashup of heaps of Nintendo games, not just the characters in Wonderland or, you know, whatever. Especially after playing Smash Run in Smash 4 on 3DS, that made, like, seeing all the enemies together, it's like, this is really awesome. I wish there was a story mode like this which you go through and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I just think, like, thinking back to it and, like, the culmination of, like, everybody getting to the subspace, you know what I mean, and, like, all these characters coming together, seeing each other again or whatever, and the groups that they've travelled in, and then getting to the end and they see Taboo there or whatever, Sonic shows up.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like the bugger he is.
Like the
bugger he is. And like, it all culminates to a really good ending and one of the greatest theme songs in ever, my opinion.
What, Sonic Heroes?
No.
Yeah.
We're all the let's call them Smash Amiibos. Amiibos sitting on the cliff, and then it's like oh.
Oh, that's the thing about Brawl 2. I love the orchestrated music.
It was so good. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was some of the best video game music and most iconic, in my opinion.
Before we move on to Smash 4, what were some of the characters you used the most in this game?
I was very into the agility-esque characters.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't use Fox a hell of a lot, but I did use Sheik, Zero Suit Samus, Toon Link. I really liked Wolf. Don't know why they ever got rid of Wolf.
Yeah. Wolf too.
What else? I got back into using Yoshi near the end of its life. I was a big fan of Yoshi in Smash 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably about that. What about you?
I really liked Mario.
Oh yeah,
I started off using Mario. I think Mario today is my favorite character in the games.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, Pit used to be my best character. We used to play all the time. I used to love how, because they got rid of this in the later game, but you used to be able to hold in jump and you used to be able to glide down.
Mm-hmm.
So if Bryce knocks me off, I used to like glide back in.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a really, I still remember it so well, that time we brought up before, how in Avcon we played doubles together.
Yeah.
And you were playing Sheik, and you were unfortunately suffered from a glitch, which made you just fall off and die.
Yeah. That was
So I'm left with these two people to do by myself, and one was Toon Link. I can't remember who the other was, but I
think Snake.
Was it Snake?
I think
yeah.
so.
So I was getting. I just remember doing that glide and weaving through arrows and grenades. I'm like, oh. And it was honestly so, like, you know, at a competition, like you're pumped up and like,
oh yeah.
I just remember dodging through it. It's like, oh, shit. Like,
a little context
pumping.
to that, we entered duos and I got so mad because I'd lost an entire stock at about, I think, 10%, because there was a really bad clipping issue on anything with a ledge, just about, with Sheik, where if you charge needles just up after getting up on top of a ledge, you would have the chance to fall. It was like maybe a 20 or 30% chance thing. I'm not sure what causes it, but I clipped through the ledge and I was counting needles as I was falling. The only way to stop it is by cancelling the animation and then trying to jump back up.
And you've got to do that quick.
And you've got to do that really quick. So I ended up losing, and we lost the semi-finals, which
I just remember
it was upsetting.
I just remember you going no, and I'm just like watching you go like falling down. I'm like, no, Bryce, no.
I'm like, oh my god, we would have had it too, because God, we were playing well.
We were, and we still did, but I couldn't hold off two of them.
No, yeah, you were close. You were close.
What round was it? Was it like?
It was the semis, so we were two rounds off the final.
Yeah, because those guys were good.
Oh, they were good.
Yeah,
they were definitely good. I'm not discrediting them at all. They were challenging, but I think we were both in our zone until that happened, and then it was just like
we have to try that again. We have to do it again.
We do. Yeah.
I haven't actually entered a Smash 4 tournament. When I went to Avcon in Adelaide, I used to do Brawl, maybe 2 or 3 years, but haven't done a Smash 4.
No, not a Smash 4 one.
And it has been out for 4 years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Shit.
It has. Yeah.
I can't believe it's been that long.
I have not been back to Avcon since Smash 4's been out. Yeah. So it's unfortunate, but that was the only time I ever got a chance to enter a sort of local tournament. You know what I mean? It was such a big thing there. They always had like big competitions there for multiple genres of games. So yeah. I have to go back sometime.
Yeah. And apart from that, I really like King DDD. I started using him at school because like playing 4-player, and I was like, I'm going to choose the big one, which can just wallop people. So you like someone hits you in the air, whatever, and you just like do the down B, so you're charging up your hammer. And you're falling down, and someone comes up to like try and give you a tickle or whatever they're trying to do.
just smack. God, that DDD hammer.
And Ike, Link.
Ike was so fun.
Oh yeah, yeah. To be honest, we played a lot of the characters in that because we just played it so much. So we just played it with There
were times where we'd spend 3 hours just clicking random.
Yeah, we just have the thing on random. Like, we'll just do whatever characters we get.
Yeah. It was the roster was that clean. I didn't really hate getting any particular character.
No.
I wasn't too great with stuff like Snake, maybe, but
Snake's still fun.
He's still fun. Yeah.
Like just going back to Avcon, I remember seeing the guy who won one particular year. He was like, and I versed him, and he went on to win the whole thing. And he was playing Snake, and I was just amazed.
And he was part of an online community we were actually with at the time.
He was too. He was a part of what was his username?
Part of Aussie Nintendo. But God, what was his name?
Was it Blim? No. It started with a B. That doesn't matter. But he was using the mines and grenades so masterfully. I'm like,
oh my God, yeah. His mortar slide. Damn, he was good at that.
He would hold like the grenade. So if you hold and let it go, it's just like a normal like lob. Like you can't control it too much. But what he did is he threw it straight down. Then he picked it up like an item, so then you can pretty much just ditch it.
Yeah.
So he'll do that. Then if I'm coming down from the top of the skybox, he'll just throw it up my ass. Boof!
Yeah.
And he'll do that with the mines too, just have them there and grenades everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. And if you go online, you'll be able to watch just like heaps of tutorials how to use Snake.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and the mortar slide?
Like the mortar slide, yeah, like I was saying.
Was that up? Is that up A for him, or was it up B? No, up. It have to be up A.
It was up A.
Yeah,
it was up A.
So you do like down up with the control stick, and it just makes him slide. So you can slide under people with the mortar strike and smack them up. And it's crazy what you can do with Snake in that game.
Oh yeah,
absolutely nuts. I had no idea before that.
Can we talk about how crazy it was for him to be in the game just for a second?
Oh, Snake in general, yeah, just.
It was so crazy that he was in there. Like, you think about the stuff that was introduced in Smash 4, and then you think about Snake, and you're like, he's probably the person I would mention least in there.
It's like, there was that remake on GameCube, Twin Snakes of Metal Gear Solid 1, so I guess that's good enough reason.
Yeah.
All the other games are on PlayStation, but, that'll do.
Yeah, it's alright, we'll just put in Solid Snake and everything will be fine. And so many people want him back, but we know he's not coming back. Not with all the controversy surrounding Konami.
Yeah, I guess when Smash Bros. Brawl came out in 2008, at least the GameCube game wasn't that far in the past, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it was like, a few years, whereas now Metal Gear Solid 5 on every other platform except for Nintendo even.
Metal Gear Survive come out recently too.
Yeah. And so, I guess there's other third party characters that need to be, a part of it, like, Shovel Knight and
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
characters like that.
I mean, guys, I'm still waiting. Phil Spencer replied to someone on Twitter the other day saying he still wants to see Banjo and Smash.
Of course he does. He wants that marketing.
Of course he wants that marketing. And I want him to take him on that offer. That character is so iconic to people who played the N64. You know what I mean? Rare was so big back in those days. It was a massive thing. And like then people were like, oh, well, if Rare is big, why don't we get K. Rool? I'm like, but...
No, don't get K. Rool.
Banjo! God, it was... we've argued this on this show before when we had Michael on. Arguably, I think Banjo is better than what Mario 64 was.
Ooh.
And that is a real hard thing to say, yes, because Mario 64 is a friggin' iconic game. It's like the Mario game that people think of when they think of speedrunning and like all that stuff. But God, Banjo-Kazooie, masterful game,
delicious. And
it'd be so good to see Banjo back on the platform again in some form, and just be like, these are the memories that I've wanted Banjo and Smash since Smash 64.
They're probably like in early stages of like developing a Banjo game, and Phil Spencer's just there rubbing his hands. He's like, just put him in Smash. Give us that free marketing. Come on, just give it to us.
God damn.
I guess just going back to Snake, I guess him being in Brawl is a good enough reason just to go, oh, well, he can be in the new one too. Really? Because, so what game's he from that's Nintendo? So, I don't know. Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers Brawl. I just don't see Snake. Like, one of our friends was really passionate about having Snake in the game.
Hip-hop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was so passionate about having Snake in the game again. Then he's like, I'm disappointed there's still no Snake. And then you think about all the controversy that's happened with Konami recently. It's probably not going to happen. It sucks because there was a very passionate Snake community for Brawl.
Yeah.
They really loved the character.
That's because he slid
there.
around and threw grenades everywhere. He was very good.
Yeah, he was a good character. Most of the tournaments I'd been to, Snake had won.
Oh, God, he was just crazy to watch.
Oh, because he was such like the thing is if you didn't know how to play Snake, you'd never know how to counteract that.
Oh, no, he caught me off guard. Something shocking.
Yeah, because I lost to the same guy in the round previous. Like you immediately versed in the round after.
Yeah,
and I was just like, "Be careful, he's friggin' good at Snake." And neither of us lived it. It was crazy. But yeah, oh well,
yeah.
Anyway,
let's move on to Smash 4 Bros. And before we get into the game, I want to talk about the hype around the game for us.
Oh,
especially at the point they announced that Smash would be coming to Wii U and 3DS in 2012, with the announcement of it was 2011. So the year the Wii U was announced, like when they showed off the gamepad with the
all the crazy
when they just, oh my god, it's a second screen. Then they're like, oh well, we're announcing that it's going to be on both platforms. So that's great. Like, there's no pictures. It come out Sakurai. I was like, what? What do you want about? So we're waiting. So from then to actually, it must have been 2012. I can't remember the E3 timeline now. It got announced.
Yeah, no, I'm not too sure either, to be honest.
Doesn't matter.
No, not at this point.
Anyway, so it wasn't into 2013 they officially announced it at E3.
I think so, yeah.
Along with Mario Kart and all that. Then it came out the year after, 2014.
Yeah, yep. That
sounds
about right.
We'll that like live direct, we were just waiting for Smash to be announced. We knew it was going to be there because they said it was. So we're rubbing our hands. We've been playing the Wii for years and years. We want to see Smash actually look nice on the TV. Because at the time we were sick of the Wii. We just wanted to
see more development for the Wii U.
Yeah. Or just HD.
Well,
yeah. So that E3 they announced Smash with Mega Man was coming to it, and also a bit later they announced Wii Fit Trainer and Pac-Man. And I was super excited when I saw Mega Man, but when I saw Wii Fit Trainer, I just lost my shit. I'm like, what? Yeah, looking back on it, I'm like, oh, that's fine. It's like it's a funny character, and
Oh well, the funny thing is Wii Fit Trainer actually came out to be a really decent game.
yeah,
It was really fun to play. I think at the time we were just like, why would you waste a slot on that? Now I don't even care.
nah, but there's plenty of characters there. It's not like we're
Yeah. It's just no, it was good. And then we had stuff like so we had slow character reviews. We had stuff like Villager come out, and
oh yeah, that's the first one too. Yeah, that's it just like the Animal Crossing, like the recent one with Splatoon. People are like, oh, is this Splatoon 1 again? Then it turns out to be Smash. Whereas with this, it was like, oh, Animal Crossing, okay. Then you see him throw the letter. You're like, oh, I think this is going to be Smash. You like the letter comes down. You see the envelope with the logo. Yes. Then it just starts, and that music where it's all going through all the series.
Yeah,
and they come together. Oh God, it gives me goosebumps just thinking back to that.
Yeah. That was damn good.
And that was the longest wait I've ever had for a video game. Honestly, it took so long.
It did, yeah. But it in my opinion, it delivered on all fronts.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. It was a damn good game.
They going through all that and leading up to the 3DS release. They one day just on Facebook and Twitter, they're like, all right, we're sending out demo codes to customers who I guess spent a lot or just random. I don't know how they decided that.
Yeah.
And I just went, oh my God. And I checked my email. I'm like waiting for it to load. I'm like, and like I got them because you get 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Bryce, here you go. Riley, here you go. Barry, whoever I gave it to.
Yeah, and then I got a bunch in my email. I was like, I've got nobody to hand these to.
Yeah. And just having that surprise of being able to play Smash that day out of nowhere.
And we got Mega Man in the demo, and Mario and Pikachu and Link.
Mm.
You know?
And I played that demo just way too. I put like 60 hours into the demo.
Yeah, I put 20-something in, I reckon.
That's all I played. I just played the demo for weeks and weeks until the game come out.
Because it was good.
And just 2-minute intervals. Because you couldn't do the settings or anything. You stuck with the 4 characters and time.
Mm-hmm.
But you could play it as much as you want. I'm like, oh yes, I will.
And you could play it multiplayer.
Yeah,
I think that was awesome.
And so what did you think of having the series first time on a handheld?
Well, the thing is I'd wanted it for years.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
I wanted it for years. I wanted it since Game Boy Advance. So it was just like, well, I'm like, let's see how it goes. But here's the thing, it did fall flat in the end for me. Because in the end it was the quickest way to get access to Smash. So you would be playing it, and it was great, it was fantastic. But as soon as that Wii U version came out, it never got touched. Yeah,
I turned out to be a bit the same. Like sometimes I might have gone on a trip or whatever, and you have the 3DS with you, and you're playing Smash in the car. But it didn't last anywhere near as long as the Wii U version did.
But see, this is where the Switch is going to come into play. And it's going to be so great because it's going to take those little fanboy dreams of having a handheld Smash,
yeah,
and it's going to smack them into that, and then it's going to be like, hey, I don't want to play in handheld mode anymore. You slap it into your TV. You're not buying 2 copies of the game to get a handheld experience and a console experience anymore. You're actually getting the full whammy for $80
Are you the guy from Anchorman?
Yeah.
Whammy.
The whammy.
Whammy.
You're getting the full on whammy for $80, and it's going to be fantastic. But in saying that, I am grateful for it because it gave me the little bit of knowledge that I needed to know that it was going to be awesome, but nothing will ever beat the TV experience for me.
No, like having everyone around that TV.
Yeah,
like is the Smash experience, but like just having it on the go and just being able to be like, all right, I'm going to.
Oh, I'm not knocking that, but yeah,
like a Smash Run, which was exclusive to that game, crapped all over Smash Tour, which was in the 3DS version. Wii U version.
Yeah, God knows what they were doing there.
How many times do you play Smash Tour? So for Smash Tour, it was essentially like roll the dice. It looked a bit like Mario Party.
Mario Party, but worse. Yeah.
But like you get to a thing, you got to you got to do a Smash match, and I remember playing with Dan, and we just played, and I'm like, I can beat Dan pretty easy, and I just like kicked his ass a few times, and then
Sorry, Dan.
yeah, sorry, Dad. And we get to the end, and it was just like he won. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck happened. I got no idea what happened. Like I couldn't. It wasn't like winner gets points. I couldn't tell what happened, and we never played again because if in a party setting, I would never want to do that. I would just want to play, versus 3 stock. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's the typical Smash format for us.
Yeah.
In the end,
I guess that's just us stuck in our own ways.
well,
I
the
guess.
thing is, the Smash run was good. In comparison.
Yeah, because like you could put so many coins into it, gives you so much time, and when you can get trophies, and that's what I liked a lot about that game. How you could like grind out those trophies.
Yeah,
like you could find them, and just having that on the go and being able to collect it all and read it all and see it in 3D, all the models. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Yeah, it was something that it wasn't going to exist in the Wii U version because of the way it was developed, which sucks. But in the Switch version, there's potential for that kind of thing to be in there. But I don't want to see Smash touring.
No.
That's probably the biggest waste of time for Smash.
Yeah,
I would say.
definitely.
But I would say like the trophy game was fun and stuff like that. That made up for it. Yeah. Like through the little whims and woes. But aside from that, the main event, which is versus mode, obviously, and being competitive and all that, like it's a phenomenal roster there.
Crazy, amazing roster.
And for our first set of downloadable characters in a Smash game ever, we got a huge selection. So many were salty about the poll. They're just like, what do you mean Bayonetta's the pick? And stuff like that. And it's just like, wonder why Bayonetta's the pick. Do you know what I mean?
Marketing.
I don't think anybody voted. I sincerely don't think anybody ever voted Bayonetta in. Like, off of those numbers.
You're like, guys, you only voted for 2 characters. One was Bayonetta, and the winner was Shrek. We're not putting Shrek in there.
What was it? The runner-up was King K. Rool. I think it was.
I can't even remember.
And I was just like, guys, you're never gonna get King K. Rool. I'm sorry. It's like, don't waste your vote.
No, you don't want King K. Rool in there.
He's not. Look, it's a wasted. The problem with K. Rool is he's a wasted license at this point. Do you know what I mean? They're not doing anything with King K. Rool. He's been dead in the grave since. God, how long has it been since King K. Rool's been in a game?
Like it. What I really love about Smash, you have all the relevant characters in there, but it's really neat to be like go back to the like really quirky Nintendo games, like having Game & Watch in there, for example. Like,
well, yeah, because that's part of their roots and their history.
Yeah, and Rob, who's not even a character, he's hardware.
He's hardware. Yeah.
So like having stuff like that in there is awesome. But King K. Rool, it's kind of like he's not that unusual. Like it was a big game, and
it's a rare asset,
and it's an asset that's not going to be used again by them. So it's kind of like if they're going to go out and really look for that stuff, yeah, they're better off going like Banjo-Kazooie or Snake or someone like.
Microsoft aren't going to say, "Hey, here's King K. Rool." They're going to go, "Hey, here's Banjo-Kazooie," or
Master Chief.
"Hey, here's Kinect Sports Kid." Something like that, something to promote their stuff currently.
Yeah, just like them versus me's.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
Mm.
I just think in the end, I'm pretty sure King K. Rool came in second or third, and he was like a majority, like one of the majority votes, and it's just like it's wasted votes. It sucks.
Just this voting scheme. Do you reckon it will come back?
I hope not. I don't want it to. I want them to. I like player choice, but there was no player choice in that realistically, because most of the people that were voting for a character in Smash are people that have been playing Smash for years, and they've all wanted these characters. Like, and again, I'm guilty of this.
Yeah, we all are. Yeah,
I'm like, hey, Banjo and Kazooie. The only reason I chose Banjo and Kazooie is because you look at it and you go, hey. That's an asset that Microsoft wants in there, so he actually has a shot. But then you had people that are like, oh, we want Ridley in there, and we want
Ridley's too big.
We want Ridley, we want King K. Rool and all this stuff, and then it's just like Sakurai is already pretty content in saying that Ridley's not going to be in there because it would kill the thematic to have him smaller than he actually is. Ridley's supposed to be a giant, intimidating dragon.
Charizard purple.
Yeah,
so he's Ridley enough.
I mean, the thing is, if you want to take a similar comparison, that's like saying, hey, if Kraid was the main bad guy of the game, like Kraid from Metroid, Kraid spans 2 screens. So if he was the main bad guy from Metroid, and you were like, hey, I want Kraid in the game, how would Kraid fit in Smash?
I don't know. I guess if you go by that logic, though, I guess Olimar, you wouldn't be able to see him on the screen, and
yeah, but it's
like
easier to increase something's size and then imagine it as something bigger than it is to take something that's supposed to be big and menacing and drop it down a size and just make it look like a skinnier Charizard. That is my opinion. I love Ridley, don't get me wrong. I think he's a fantastic villain for Metroid. I don't think he's a good fit in Smash.
Yeah.
You know, I think there are other options that you could go about it when, like, representing Metroid that would be more fitting, even if, and controversial opinion probably, but like you have several hunters from Metroid Prime Hunters, they would be good. You know, having them in there would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess with the hunters though, it's kind of, I don't hear anyone else talk about it except for
No,
us.
I know.
Like other Nintendo podcasts, I never hear.
But I thought it was damn cool having a whole set of bounty hunters.
Oh, absolutely! Like when I hear other Nintendo podcasts talk about Metroid, hunters is always brought up. Like, oh yeah, there was this thing, you know, the American team tried, but yeah,
I thought it was a great game.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah, but I just think like the reason I say I like player choice but I don't want it is because of that reason. Do you know what I mean? All these votes get wasted, and if they do actually take it in consideration, then like they're like, this is going to be in the game. Imagine if Bayonetta did not get in, because Bayonetta would not have clearly won. I can tell you this now.
Yeah, I couldn't see Bayonetta winning.
I could not see Bayonetta winning.
Who did you vote for?
I voted for Banjo-Kazooie.
I voted for Hades from Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah, he was on my list of characters I
cool.
want in there because Hades was a damn good character. You know, it was just a case of like, you know, you probably could have had Hades in there if people didn't waste their vote. It's just silly. People don't think of the ergonomics of it, sort of thing.
Yeah,
they kind of just like, Nintendo will make it happen because I said so. And it's like, no, they're not going to buy a King K. Rool for $2 million or something just so they can get it in the game for you. You know, it's not going to happen.
No.
I'm sorry. And it just design choices that he'd already, like Sakurai had already spoke against, like Ridley. He's already said like, no, I don't want him in there because it breaks its character, in my opinion. You know, he's not going to do that. You know, even if you demanded the shit out of it, that's why Bayonetta become a thing. I can guarantee King K. Rool probably won that poll vote, but they were like, we can't get a hold of King K. Rool, so we're just going to say Bayonetta won it because Bayonetta's our new asset and it's going to sell.
If they really wanted King K. Rool, they could get it. They could go to Rare or Microsoft and. They'd
have to exchange a lot of damn words in consideration that King K. Rool's again been a dead asset since Donkey Kong 64.
I mean, what was easier, going to Microsoft and we want King K. Rool, we'll license it from you, put it in the game. And they're like, yeah, if you can have it if you want, King K. Rool, or they could just be like, hey, Platinum Bayonetta. Because we don't have to do anything. You already partnered with us.
Or they could go to Microsoft. They could ask for King K. Rool, and they're going to be like, "Why do you want to dig this up? We want something that promotes us." And they get a better deal off Banjo than they would King K. Rool. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what way you look at it. It was not destined to be. Unfortunately, you know, it's like asking for Joy-Con Man in Smash. It's
hell's yeah,
Joy-Con Man in Smash. Yeah, it's unfortunately it's not going to happen. And if Joy-Con Man comes to Smash, then bite my tongue off and call me.
Bite your tongue off.
Bite my tongue off and call me a two-faced liar. But
that means you can't podcast if you.
Yeah, I can. It'd just be a lot of groaning.
That's how you sound anyway.
Oh God, thanks.
So we'll move on to Smash for Switch. So we know nothing about it apart from. Everyone's very angry. So, off the bat, do you think it's going to be a port of Smash 4, or do you think it's going to be a brand new experience.
My 100% personal opinion and I guess prediction at this point is that it's going to be a Smash 4 engine product. We're not going to see the same characters. We're going to see pretty much the regulars. We're going to have introduction of Nintendo characters that are new to push, like Springman, Ribbon Girl, the Inklings, etc., etc. But
Labo Man.
Labo Man. Da-da-da.
Labo Man.
But like the stuff like Cloud and all that, I think the relicensing and the fact they're not going to be able to make as much money from it because it's not being sold as DLC, I think that's all going to get cut. Bayonetta, stuff like Bayonetta would be stuck as a permanent part of the roster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Pac-Man might be, but like, you know, Cloud and Ryu, where they want to make money off of them and stuff like that, they might not make the list anymore.
It'll be interesting to see. I can't say whether they will be or not, but I don't think they'll necessarily have trouble with licensing. It just depends of what they want to do with the game. Whether they could have a completely different model, whereas, all right, we're starting off with 30 characters, and each week or month or fortnight, whatever it is, they seep out more characters,
which would be good.
Yeah. So even if we're
paying $2 per character or something, I don't care that much.
Yeah, like I would prefer them just to see them. Like in a perfect world, you'd just say, all right, well, we're bringing out all of the 56 whatever it was characters at once, and we've got this plan for DLC, you know, whether it's a season pass or free updates and paid content, a bit like Splatoon's doing. Like, don't know. I think they're going to be hitting the always on, like not always online like Destiny, but always give you a reason to be coming back all the time. Have it as an ecosystem that's always evolving, more so than Smash 4.
Yeah.
Because like with that, they're like, all right, we're bringing out characters, and it was very, very spread out.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be giving us a lot more reason to be coming back to Smash. So whether that's like holding characters back and seeping them out as free content, where like I don't know.
Well, because I think that's why, you know, I think that's why we'd lost communication with Sakurai there after a short amount of time in terms of, you know, it was a couple years maybe.
Yeah, well, Sakurai said he's working on this game, and he started working on Smash for Switch straight after, like, Smash 4 for Wii U.
Yep.
Which I feel so sorry for the poor man.
Oh, man.
Jesus.
If the thing is, there's a lot of people curse that fella, but God, he's a hard worker.
Oh, who curses him? Oh,
the people that are right. Oh, no, we want wave dashing back, and we want King K. Rool, and you know, don't curse the guy out. The guy's had hand problems ever since working on the last one, and he's still working.
Would you be surprised if these like, all right, guys, we've got a new character, Ridley. We're announcing Ridley, and his special ability is wave dashing. Here you go.
It's like, hang on, no, we're making amalgamation character of Ridley and King K. Rool.
Was it just like Ridley with a crown on or something?
No, it's King K. Rool with Ridley wings, a long snout, a super long snout.
Sounds great.
And just like really fat.
Fat Ridley.
Super fat Ridley.
No, if we're going back to the Ridley thing, which we shouldn't be doing, but just make it Ridley's son. So that's why. So that's how you can get away with it being smaller.
Ridley Jr.
And you put like Ness's backwards cap on it, so it's like a kid, baby Ridley. Yeah, so just moving away from that, it will be interesting to see what they do with the new Smash Bros.
Look, I would like it to be a completely brand new product, but I'm not pushing for it to be like, hey, Sakurai, why isn't it a brand new product if you've been working on it?
Yeah.
The poor guy has worked himself tirelessly, and he gets more shit than he does love, I think, sometimes.
He gets a lot of love.
He gets a lot of love, but, you know, whenever...
From me. I love you, Sakurai.
But I'm talking about, like, when, like, the character polls are coming out and people are like, it's not fucking Ridley. I'm so mad! And then you look at, like, the forums, the message boards, they're all just salty as hell, and then you're just like, man, guy's working his ass off. Give him a break.
Oh, he's getting paid, he's right.
He's getting paid, but he's stuffed up his hand forever, pretty much. Like, God. He never got that break. He never got that vacation he wanted. Think about it. Think about that poor man that never got that vacation
Yeah,
he
because
wanted.
we were saying, well, God, I hope he gets a vacation afterwards. He never did. Apparently.
We
he
jinxed him.
He might have had a week off. He could have had his hand in ice while watching TV at home.
Just for a week. Just for a week. No more vacation, Mr. Salaryman.
Yeah, because I was honestly expecting a Smash 4 Deluxe. Not called Smash 4 Deluxe, but, just basically just call it Super Smash Bros. Just rip off Wii U. Do some Mario Kart 8 sort of deluxe improvements.
Deluxe edition,
like put the 3DS content in there and just sort of master it up and make it good. Or make it, improve it, however you do that.
But the way it's looking at the moment, it's not that at all.
Yeah, I think it'll be similar to what Splatoon 2 is. So, like, people who look at Splatoon 2 screenshots go, "Oh yeah, it's just a port," but it's the graphics are better. Like
when you play the two, you get a completely different scenario.
If you talk to the guys who are competing in it, like the differences are night and day.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100%. Like I didn't play that much Splatoon 1 just because of internet connection issues.
I noticed the difference.
Yeah. Like, if you look at the two side by side, you can see the difference.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a similar situation here where it's going to be like similar art style. You're not going to see the difference between Brawl and Smash 4.
Oh god, you're not going to be blown away
No. And to be fair, the hardware is a lot closer than it was from that jump as well.
Yeah.
The Switch. So, like, we're going to notice the difference when we're playing it for our 400 hours. But someone who's just like picking it up at a party, they're not going to notice the difference at all, I don't think.
No. Yeah.
So,
absolutely. No, I just hope that it comes out and everybody can be satisfied with it, and there's no more bully on the Sakurai.
No more bully on the Sakurai.
No more bully on the Sakurai. I want that man to have a vacation. He may look young as hell, guys, but he's not that young anymore.
He has aged backwards.
Oh, no, right.
There's a picture of him when he's like 20 or something like that, and he looks like, oh my god, he looks like real nerdy, like, just like typical designer.
Yeah,
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but just like, when you look at him when he's in his, he's like in his 40s now, and he's got like, he's looking,
God, he's coming up on his 50s. The way
he's got swagger. Jesus.
Oh yeah, he's on point.
He's like, he dresses like the rock star at Nintendo. And when the hype's building up for Smash Bros, he is the rock star at Nintendo. Whenever he steps out, he's like, "We got an announcement," and boom,
Oh yeah, he knows how to build it really quickly with no effort. He just walks out on stage.
Well, that just quickly before we finish the show, like well, the team that made that trailer just announcing the Switch game, they didn't tell us anything.
No.
Apart from Splatoon characters, like just like Super Smash Bros, like the music build up and the way it sort of it mixes your expectations. Like, a lot of people this is more Splatoon stuff, and I could see the way the trailer was sort of
headed, yeah, especially after that really slow trickle of trailers for Smash 4.
Yeah, because I watched like 1 million of them.
Oh yeah,
1 million times.
Yeah.
So that's 1 billion times I watched the Smash Bros trailers.
Yeah. No, as soon as I saw them running around on a white background, they were just shooting things and whatever. I was just like, they've just announced the Octo expansion. I'm like, what else could there honestly be for Splatoon right now? That is the biggest thing that they could possibly announce. So when I saw that, I was just like, you know what this looks like? This looks like Smash.
Damn straight.
And I sat there and I watched, and then the screen went dark, and then I'm just like, hang on.
You see it in her eye, and I was like, yes!
Smash! Yes! Boy! Oh, God, I love Smash.
Fucking oath I do too, Bryce.
And I love the marketing. Go Sakurai, you demon.
Yeah, actually, just this whole episode is just like, the marketing team's like, we fucking got them. We got them by the balls.
Yeah. all the reactions are even like to that initial trailer. They're even better. They're even better than some of the character reveal trailers. Maybe not the Mewtwo one. The Mewtwo one got some serious hype, but like the previous character reveal trailers and stuff like that. It's just because it's so surprising because it's back already. That's big. That's huge.
It's only been it's 4 years. It'll be 4 years.
It takes usually about 7 years to Smash Bros.
Yeah. Well, imagine if it took that long again.
Oh, kill me.
If I'm like, all right, I've got to Turn on the gamepad. It's like, fuck, sure. It's like, are we playing Smash Bros yet? No, it's still loading. Oh, okay.
Because it was only a short time between 64 and Melee. But then Melee and Brawl was 7 years. Brawl and Smash 4 was about 7 years.
Yeah. Jesus.
You know, we started to get in a pattern there where it was only where it was starting to look every 7 years we were going to get a Smash Bros. But, you know, Sakurai-san isn't getting any... He isn't getting any younger, and eventually he's going to have to stop making them. But they are his favourite games to make, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah.
They're definitely a huge undertaking for him to take, and I think he enjoys that now.
Oh, yeah. He not only enjoys the challenge, but he loves the fan response 90% of the time. Unless, obviously, you know, I'm sure if he reads the comments that he gets sometimes, he's just like, oh, God.
Because even with, like, Zelda and Mario, like, there's fans of everything, then there's fans of, like, who fucking love Zelda and really like Mario. But with Smash, that's sort of like everyone's together.
Everybody's coming together, and it's like it is the culmination of the Nintendo community. No matter what walk of life you're from, pretty much, you want your character to be in Smash, even if you're not a big fan of it. You know, even if you're not a big fan of Smash, your character being in Smash means they're being recognized. That's a big thing. You know what I mean? They can fill those rosters with as many clones as they wanted and stuff like that, and then your character doesn't get in, and you're like, oh, well, maybe next time.
Yeah.
But when they do come up...
Boom. I'm still holding out for Pooh from Earthbound.
Yeah, right.
Why was there a party member called Pooh? Bryce.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for joining me on episode 35 of The House of Mario.
I'm here every week.
Yeah, well, you are. It's true, unless you're not.
What are you going in the solo podcasting business now, are we?
I would, but then that'll be boring. I'll be like, hey, guys, what's going on? They're like, Drew, shut up. Where's Bryce? But like, I don't even know, guys. I don't even know.
Well.
Bryce, where can they find you on the Bluebird?
On the Bluebird.
Being Twitter.
At Bryce DeWitt.
You can find me at iDruby and The House of Mario at The House of Mario. How ironic is that?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty ironic.
It is.
Some of the shit that comes out of our mouths. Sorry.
You can join our Discord community. It's a. I'll be honest, Bryce. It's a pretty quiet community at the moment, but we're growing it. We're growing it.
Yeah, we're really trying to grow it so we can talk to people about video games.
Yeah,
honestly.
And we post in there to like weekly topics, so we can get your feedback for the show. We can read your stuff on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I always flick through it. Just waiting for that one thing to somebody to tag me and just be like, hey, can I ask you a question? Or, hey, can we play some video games? I'd be like, yeah.
You'd be like, yes.
Yes. I love video games.
And if you feel inclined, or if you enjoyed the show, jump over to iTunes if you have an iPhone or iTunes account. It really helps the show. Apparently algorithms matter for podcasts, and reviews help. And it's also really helpful going on there and being like, oh, we've got a review, and they say, oh, this is what's wrong, this is what's right, and we can adjust.
I can smell you through your microphones. You stink. And then we're like, all right, but we better perspirate before the next episode.
It's like, oh my god, I'm embarrassed.
How did I forget to have a shower? Silly me.
I was thinking like breath, but if it's just your armpits going through the microphone, that is disgusting.
Smellogram.
And this show is a part of the 8-Bit Collective on 8bit.net. And 8-Bit Collective, if you don't know, is an amalgamation of podcast creators getting together. If you're looking for wrestling, pop culture, movies, gaming, interviews, D&D, or news talk shows, the 8-Bit Collective has it all.
Absolutely. And you can check them out at 8bit.net.
Yeah, and you can check out our page on 8bit at 8bit.net/The House of Mario, which is also very ironic, isn't it?
How are they naming all these things after us?
Yeah, all these URLs with where you look for us, and it's just nuts.
Look, you can go to Google. Like, I implore you guys right now. I'm so proud of this personally, but like, you go to Google, you write The House of Mario, and it will come up with us pretty much for the entire first page. And that's all because of you guys. You know, you go onto those websites, Google's taking more notice of them, and
yeah, every click helps.
Every click helps. Yeah. You know, it is a big thing for us, and I'm so proud of that. Like that was my proud crowning achievement like earlier on in the podcast where it was like, hey, we're on Google. Holy shit. You know,
I've heard of Google. Yeah, nice.
It was a big thing. It was a big thing. I know that like in the end Google ends up doing that, but like it was just we clear out the first page now if you're at the House of Mario, and that's great. You know, usually you get the house from the old Super Mario Brothers Super Show cards.
Yeah, Bryce is like,
type Mario's house.
Yeah, type Mario's house. See if we come up then too. But it's just like literally a picture of Mario's house from the cartoon.
Yeah.
So, no, we're not that big yet, Bryce.
No, we're not as big as an old cartoon house.
No. Not as big as actually Mario's house. And once again, thank you very much for listening to us. And I hope you enjoyed Super Smash Brothers talk this week. And this week, Bryce, we have a Nintendo Jukebox, like we do each and every week.
Yes.
And what is it?
It is the Super Smash Bros. Melee Yohamid remix.
Please enjoy. We'll see you next week.
As always.